Yo, Parish Orbans and Retrogrades. It is Friday morning, meaning it's that time again for CMAS, Christian masculinism. It's not the red pill. It's not men going their own way, but it's not what you typically hear from Christians about restoring the patriarchy coming from the Patriarchy channel itself. Case for Patriarchy channel, that would be me. Today, I'm here with CMAS vets, Nick and Will, who runs the Patriarchy Project from across the pond, but also with two good friends. Elliot's not here today, but we got AJ Barker and Royce White to help us build out this extra big list from a show a couple days ago I did with Steph called Dumper, affectionately, or How to Vet Your Girlfriend, but it became, everyone was calling it just Dumper because it's a dumper if list, to quote Royce. And Steph and I built a list out of 10 important line items, most crucial for bulwarking the relationships of young men as they work toward restoring the patriarchy. And of course, we're talking about relationships. So we're not talking about things that you're really necessarily looking for in the first 5 dates. Most people become a couple with 5 good dates on average. Will, Nick, and I know that from running return matchmaking by us. And anyway, so let's get into it. But I just wanted to say, what's up, AJ? What's up, Royce? What's up, Nick? And what's up, Will? Happy CMAS morning. How are you guys doing in that order?
Great. I'm great.
Doing awesome.
Glad to be here as always, Tim. You know that.
Yeah, it's an honor.
Good to have you guys. Nick and Will, how are you guys?
Yeah,
excited?
Tim, good to be here. Hey, I love all this talk about patriarchy. Someone told me they were going to report me to my bishop for trying to restore the patriarchy recently. So it's a pleasure to be here with other people interested in that.
Yeah,
Wow.
because Will, you know this better than anyone, man. Both of us basically being fired from teaching positions at, in my case, a Catholic school, in your case, the most prestigious school in all of England, for teaching Restore the Patriarchy. And of course, the Catholic tradition, simpliciter, is the wellspring of patriarchy. Of the 3 Western religions, neither Judaism nor Islam or patriarchy. Judaism is really sort of the wellspring of feminism, and Islam is the wellspring of, I don't know, the red pill or something. You know, get lots of girls and take advantage of them. Christianity is the source text for how to do a benevolent patriarchy. Christianity is bifurcated patriarchy. You got a clerical version and a lay version. So it's extra weird that Catholics now are maybe the number one group that witch hunt for patriarchalists like a Will Noland or a Royce White, AJ Barker, Nick Stumpfhauser, Tim Gordon. So I think, Nick, what did you say before this show started, man? You wanted this show to be the new source text for what girlfriends, who are feminist girlfriends who are afraid their boyfriends will have seen this episode or something like that.
Yeah, it's somewhat common to have a girl say in a dating profile or perhaps in a tweet of some kind, if you, prospective man, say anything that even remotely resembles an Andrew Tate quote, you will be anathema. I will cast you out into the streets. And I said I want that to be the show that you just did with Steph, and then this addendum show, that this will be the new Salman Rushdie satanic verses, that every woman should be afraid that any man in their life is watching this.
Based any non-good woman or any woman that needs Christian training in the patriarchy. And by the way, it's bullshit that they're saying Andrew Tate, because he's way too permissive. He's letting his women's work, right, in his coven or whatever of women. He lets them work. He lets them get away with so much. So this list will be better. What I'm going to do to start out today's show will be just jump into a quick little 1 through 10 review of the 10 line items from the show that I did with Steph. to catch people up. Maybe viewers missed the show. I feel like the big views never go out on my favorite shows on my channel on Rules for Retrogrades, and I hate that. But yeah, I think a fraction of people that normally watch me and Steph's list show. So I'm going to catch all y'all up right now, and then we're going to build to that list. With each of us, we'll add one line item, and I'll go first, I guess, just for the sake of simplicity. But I'm going to tend to that right now. So, list of 1 through 10 common crypto-feminist girlfriend infractions, even in the Catholic world, Novus Ordo, Trad, whatever, charismatic. I think Catholicism is the most feminist infiltrated place, and it's the source of patriarchy, so it's extra ironic. So this is what you do to deal with the woman having upper hand coming into the relationship right after 5 or 6 dates that went well, when you start talking really frankly. And what you also start doing, number 1, is tell her no frequently. No, with no apologies. Just no, we're not going to do that. You're not going to do that here. And in saying, and here's why, isn't a bad little chaser. It doesn't attenuate your authority much. If you know, here's no, because this is what authority is about. Everyone loves an authority when he is telling the women and the children yes, or your woman and the children in the home, more accurately, yes. You should be getting affection for yes. You should continue getting affection after you say no. And so this is what you're checking for, is any elements of bitterness, and in Steph's words, any withdrawal on the part of the woman of attention or affection. Attention or affection. There should be none. There should be no withdrawal of attention or affection. So this is rule number 1. This is also rule number 2, because it's so damn important. You must tell her no. So rule number 1 is tell her no frequently, not for the sake of being a jerk, but if you want to tell her no, and there are plenty of opportunities when guys want to tell their girlfriends no, but don't, then tell her no and mean it. Put your foot down. Don't budge. Royce was saying something about this before we ran the tape. Just this is how you win the country. This is how you win wars. This is how you win in the war on terrorism. Just don't negotiate it. Don't negotiate with terrorists. And if you start saying yes after saying no, you will turn your sweet, lovely potential bride. You will spoil her, and she will be not a beautiful potential wife, but a terrorist yelling Allahu Akbar or something like that. So rules number 1 and 2 are tell her no. Rule number 3 is dump her. The audience was doing this. Dump her if she cares what her mom thinks at all, because this is trouble. And the higher generations in America, in the church, were nothing but trouble. So it's not like, oh, what about sagacious elderly wisdom? There is none to be had from a Gen X parent or a boomer parent. If they're a 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000 parent, more like it, who actually aren't feminist, then they'll be telling her, oh, it's good you got dumped. It's good. Were you mouthing off? You got dumped by the man. He's in charge. So if she cares what her mom thinks at all, dump her. That's rule number 3. No, rule number 4 is if she cares what her dad thinks too much, not at all, but too much, dump her. That'll be a future conduit for crypto feminism. I guarantee it. Even in like trad Catholicism, it's just caring what the parents think means she's still going to be attempting to vote with her feet and say, oh, well, in my family, we did it this way. Who cares what you did in your family? This is my family. This is my family, right? I'm the patriarch, right? Don't electra complex me. I'm not competing with your dad. So she cares what her mom thinks at all, immediately dump her. She cares what her dad thinks too much, dump her. Number 5, this is an important one. It's been especially important in our return matchmaking program. Maybe Will or Nick, you could lend your voice on this quick one. I'm trying to run through these, but location where you will raise your family with your wife. Announce it. Bold declarative statements. It's a Nick Stumphauser thing. Bold declarative statements. And you're not saying, where does your family live again? And you told me about the every Saturday night pillow fights you had with your sisters. I want to marry you and make this possible for that to continue. You're like, no, we're going to Sioux Falls. We're going to Sioux Falls. That's where I'm going with my wife anyway. We're going See if you can make the cut.
Yeah, Tim, it was so important that we actually added it to our application page for the women. So the women, they do sort of a video interview where they film themselves answering questions. And we've sort of built this list out as we go through more and more of these experiences. And yeah, I think the first question that we have now that they have to answer is, why is it important for the woman to move to the man upon marriage? And it's just because we got fed up with multitudes of women saying, yes, of course, I will move to my future husband. And then we find out that there's 68 qualifications. If it's within one contiguous state, if it's within a 3-hour drive, if right. I really want to be by my family, all these things. We just said, all right, cut the nonsense. Tell me in your words why it is vital that when you get married, you're going to move to wherever the husband is. And it seems like demanding that articulation has already filtered out. Only the women that are willing to articulate it. And now the video responses we're getting, they make a whole lot of sense. Oh, because he has a job. Oh, because he's the breadwinner. Because he probably has a home. Because he's the patriarch. We're like, yes, okay, excellent, thank you.
Last answer's best, by the way. Sorry, Will, go ahead.
I was going to say, if she won't relocate, she's trying to lead you from day one. Like a parent holding a toddler's child saying, we're crossing the road now, honey. You better come with me. She's doing that to you as the man in the relationship, even before marriage. So, no.
Yeah, that's true, Will. And that's actually the real answer, and something that, you know, it's not necessary that you expect like the whole perfect answer from the women, because that's a bit unreasonable. But that really is the true answer. It's not the pragmatics. Yeah. Oh, he has a job. Oh, I don't want to rustle the logistics because he has a job and a house. No, it's actually because he's the patriarch. And he says, this is where we're going, and that's where you're going. So maybe eventually we'll get some women answering that. Well, because he says this is where we're going to be. And maybe it's like a 10-second answer instead of a 60-second answer. But
then marry her, marry that girl. If she's like, yeah, because this is where he wants to live. That's amazing. Yeah, sometimes logistics can be scary, because even though it's a proper logistical answer, a logistically correct answer to say, I'll go wherever my future husband wants us to go because he's the breadwinner. Yeah, but what if he gets injured on the job and you have to take a job in some case? Your job will matter then, but not your career. So the husband should still, because he's the patriarch, he should still be making these decisions. So
it's also like, it doesn't matter. The more we're talking about this, the more I think this is so vital. What happened to the I hated the movie, so I don't even remember it. What's the one with Woody Harrelson, and it's kind of psychedelic? It's they're the Bonnie and Clyde type dynamic.
White Men Can't Jump.
No,
Natural Born Killers.
Natural Born Killers. Thank you. What happened to the Mickey and Mallory, Bonnie and Clyde, ride or die dynamic of, hey, why is it important for the wife to move to the husband? Oh, because I want to be wherever he is. Don't tell me because he has a job in a 401k in a particular, because I want to be wherever he is. Women are trying to be like chess players as opposed to just conveying actual desire. And I'm shocked that before the women have met their match, have met the person that we are setting them up with, they aren't ideating about a man so desirable that they would go with him to Uzbekistan if he said this is where we're going.
Yeah. He'd have a big, plentiful beard, and he would yell, Allahu Akbar. Doesn't he sound lovely?